Leg cramps. The kind that snap you awake at 2, 3 in the morning. Calf locked solid, toes curling under. Pain so sharp you can't even straighten your leg. And you reach for that electrolyte drink on your nightstand thinking you're doing the right thing. That's where this story gets dangerous. Because if you're over 60 and you've been waking up to these cramps week after week, month after month, and nothing seems to stop them for good, there's a reason. And it's not the reason most people have been given. Tonight, I'm going to show you why the fix millions of seniors trust for night leg cramps can quietly keep the cycle going. And what to look at instead before tonight. Here's what most seniors hear. You get a cramp, you see your doctor, or you look it up, and the answer comes back the same way every time. Drink more water. Maybe take some magnesium. Maybe grab a banana. It sounds simple. It sounds right. It feels like it should work. However, and this is what changed everything for me when I read the actual research, guidance from Mayo Clinic and the NIH Office of Dietary Supplements now points to something much bigger than hydration. The real issue, in many seniors, isn't that you're low on water. It's that the electrolyte balance underneath the water has shifted. And after 60, medications, kidney function, and the very products marketed to help you can quietly keep that imbalance locked in place. No, this is not just age. This is a pattern, and it has a name. The outdated hydration myth, combined with one-size-fits-all electrolyte marketing, has reduced night leg cramps to drink more water or take one mineral. Meanwhile, the medication-driven, kidney-related, balance-based changes that become critical after 60 are almost never explained to you. The system isn't trying to hurt you, but the information hasn't caught up, and you deserve the update. My name is Dr. David Collin, and this is for educational purposes only. Always discuss changes with your own doctor. I say that because I mean it. What I'm about to walk you through could reshape how you think about your nighttime cramps. But it's not a prescription. It's a conversation. The kind your doctor doesn't always have time for, and the kind nobody else in this space seems willing to have. Your doctor never told you this, but I will. By the time I'm done, you'll understand exactly why your leg cramps keep returning even when you think you're doing everything right, and what you can start looking at differently today. If this kind of plain English breakdown helps you, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I cover the things most seniors are never clearly told, and that matters after 60. Let me show you what's actually happening inside your leg when that cramp fires at 3 in the morning. Because once you see this clearly, everything else makes sense. Your muscles don't run on willpower. They run on minerals. Specifically, 4 of them: magnesium, potassium, sodium, and calcium. These 4 work as a team. Think of them like a lock and key system. Magnesium is the key that tells your muscle to relax after it contracts. Potassium helps control the signal that says, fire now. Sodium manages the fluid pressure around the muscle cell. And calcium is part of what triggers the contraction itself. When these 4 are in the right balance, and I mean balance, not just quantity, your calf muscle contracts, then releases. Contracts, releases, smooth, painless. You don't even notice. But if it were only dehydration, why do the cramps keep coming back at the same time every night? Here's the answer nobody walks you through. After 60, your body changes how it handles every one of those 4 minerals. The NIH Office of Dietary Supplements confirms that older adults are at increased risk of magnesium inadequacy, not just because they eat less of it, but because their gut absorbs less and their kidneys excrete more. A 2016 NANS analysis found that 48% of Americans consume less magnesium than their estimated average requirement, and men over 71 are among the most likely to fall short. 48%, nearly half. And that's just magnesium. Now layer potassium on top of that. Potassium controls how your nerve signals reach the muscle. When potassium drops, the nerve fires too easily, too fast, too hard. That's where the spasm starts, at the nerve level, before the muscle even knows what's happening. And potassium is the mineral most affected by common medications seniors take. Blood pressure pills, water pills, acid reflux pills, each one pulling potassium or magnesium in a different direction. One drink, one pill, one mistake, and the balance shifts. Let me make this real. Think of your calf muscle like a light switch. In a healthy system, calcium flips the switch on, the muscle contracts. Magnesium flips it off, the muscle relaxes. On, off, on, off. But when magnesium is low, and after 60, it often is, the switch flips on and stays on. The muscle contracts and can't release. That is a cramp. That's what's happening at 3 in the morning. Not because you forgot to drink water, because the off switch isn't working. And here's where it gets worse. Because magnesium doesn't just control muscle relaxation, it also helps your body hold on to potassium. The NIH confirms that severe magnesium deficiency can cause secondary hypokalemia, meaning low potassium, because the two minerals are linked inside the cell. So when one drops, the other follows. It's a chain reaction, and you feel it in your calf at night because the calf muscle is one of the longest, most active muscles in your lower body. It's the first to show the damage. After 60, everything changes, and most people aren't told why. Now, here's where the medications come in. And I need you to listen carefully to this part, because this is the piece that connects the dots for most seniors. If you take a thiazide diuretic, that's a common water pill prescribed for blood pressure. Published evidence in the journal Nutrients, 2018, confirms that thiazide use is associated with lower serum magnesium levels and an increased risk of hypomagnesemia. If you take a proton pump inhibitor, that's an acid reflux medication like omeprazole or lansoprazole. The FDA itself issued a warning that prolonged PPI use, typically over a year, can cause clinically significant magnesium loss. And if you take a loop diuretic like furosemide, that one can pull both magnesium and potassium through the kidneys faster than your diet can replace them. So think about this. You're over 60. Your gut absorbs less magnesium. Your kidneys excrete more. Your medications may be pulling it out even faster. And nobody told you to adjust anything. Nobody looked at the full picture. They just said, drink more water. But water without minerals is like pouring gas into a car with no battery. The engine won't turn over. The fluid is there. The electrical system isn't. And that's exactly why the cramp keeps coming back. Not because of one missing thing, but because the relationship between all four minerals has tilted. And once it tilts, the calf muscle is the first place you feel it. Every night. Same time. Same leg. Same helpless feeling. Now let me take this one layer deeper. Because this is where the electrolyte drink enters the story. And this is where millions of seniors are making a mistake without knowing it. Most electrolyte drinks on the shelf were designed for athletes. Young, sweating, high-output athletes losing sodium through their skin during intense exercise. The formulas are built around sodium and sugar. That's what an athlete needs after a hard workout. But that's not what a 68-year-old needs when a calf cramp wakes them up at night. The problem isn't that the drink is bad. The problem is that it was never built for you. A typical sports electrolyte drink might contain 200 to 300 milligrams of sodium, some sugar for absorption, and very little magnesium, sometimes none at all, and potassium, often a fraction of what your body actually needs. So you drink it. You feel like you've done something. And the cramp comes back anyway, because the one mineral your calf needed most, magnesium, wasn't even in the glass. Or it was there in a form your body couldn't absorb well. Most seniors never connect this to that. Today you will. Now here's where sodium itself can become a problem. If you're taking a blood pressure medication, and roughly 2/3 of Americans over 65 are, adding extra sodium from an electrolyte drink may work against the medication. Your doctor is trying to bring your blood pressure down. The drink is pushing sodium up. Nobody told you to check. Nobody asked what you're sipping at night. And potassium, this one is serious. If your kidneys aren't working at full capacity, and kidney function naturally declines with age, taking extra potassium from a supplement or a high potassium drink without medical guidance can be dangerous. The National Kidney Foundation is direct about this. People living with chronic kidney disease are at risk for potassium levels outside of the safe range. ACE inhibitors, ARBs, and potassium-sparing diuretics, all common in seniors, can raise potassium levels further. Adding a supplement on top of that, without your doctor knowing, is a gamble. This is not scare talk. This is what the research says. And it's the part that gets left out of every electrolyte ad you've ever seen. So let me pull this together so far. You've got magnesium dropping because of age, absorption, and medications. Potassium shifting because of the same medications and because magnesium loss drags potassium down with it. Sodium being added back in through drinks that weren't designed for your situation. And calcium, quietly part of the contraction signal, being affected by all of it. For minerals, one balance. And when that balance is off, the calf cramp fires. Not randomly, predictably, nightly. And the thing that's supposed to help, the electrolyte drink, the single supplement, the banana before bed, often isn't touching the real problem. It's touching one corner of it and leaving the rest wide open. So which story have you been believing? I mean that honestly, because right now, there are two kinds of people watching this. Some of you still believe night leg cramps are mostly about hydration, that the answer is more fluid, more water, maybe a glass of something before bed. And some of you are starting to see that the real issue is something deeper, something about balance, something about the relationship between these minerals, and about the medications and products that shift that relationship without anyone ever telling you. I want you to drop a letter in the comments right now. If you still believe night leg cramps are mostly a dehydration problem and the answer is just more water, drop the letter A. If you believe the real issue is electrolyte balance and that the wrong drink or supplement can keep the cramps coming back, drop the letter B. I read every single comment personally. Let me know below. And now here's the part I've been building toward. Everything I just told you is real, and it matters. But there's something that changes all of it, something almost no one talks about. And once you understand it, you'll never look at your night leg cramps the same way again. The problem, for most seniors, is not that they're missing one electrolyte. It's not that their magnesium is too low, or their potassium is too low, or their sodium is wrong. The problem is that the balance between all four has shifted. And here's the part that makes this so hard to catch. Your blood test might look fine. The NIH Office of Dietary Supplements says it plainly. Less than 1% of your body's total magnesium is in your blood serum. Less than 1%. The rest is locked inside your cells and your bones. And the standard blood test, the one your doctor orders, only measures that tiny fraction in the serum. So your lab result can come back normal while your muscles are starving for magnesium at the cellular level. Let that sink in. You get your blood work done. Your doctor says, everything looks fine. You go home. And that night, another cramp. Same calf. Same time. Same pain. Because the test wasn't designed to see the problem you actually have. This is not age. This is something your body is doing, and we can fix it. The real issue is what researchers call a functional electrolyte imbalance. Your body may have enough of one mineral on paper, in the blood, but not enough where the muscle needs it, when the muscle needs it. And after 60, this gap widens. Because your gut absorbs less. Your kidneys flush more. Your medications pull minerals in directions nobody tracks. And the products you buy to fix it, the electrolyte drinks, the single mineral supplements, often add one thing while ignoring everything else. It's like tuning one string on a guitar and expecting the whole instrument to sound right. It won't. The chord requires all the strings in tune with each other. Magnesium and potassium. Potassium and sodium. Sodium and calcium. They don't work alone. They work as a system. And that system, in your calf, at 3 in the morning, is what decides whether the muscle contracts and releases smoothly or contracts and locks. That's the real story behind recurring night leg cramps. Not a single deficiency. A balance failure. A 2020 Cochrane systematic review looked at the evidence for magnesium supplementation and skeletal muscle cramps. And their conclusion? In older adults, the differences in cramp frequency between magnesium and placebo were small and not statistically significant. Magnesium alone was not enough. That's not because magnesium doesn't matter. It matters enormously. It's because magnesium alone, without the other 3 minerals in balance, can't solve the full problem. Most seniors never get this far. They manage one piece of the puzzle, but they miss the balance, the relationship between the 4 minerals, and that gap is exactly what keeps the problem returning. I'm telling you this because nobody else in this space will, and it gets one step more complicated. Because even if you get the balance right, even if your magnesium, potassium, sodium, and calcium are all in the right relationship, there are things that can undo it overnight. Literally overnight. Laxative use. A bout of diarrhea. Heavy sweating on a warm night. Skipping dinner, which means skipping the minerals that were supposed to come with it. Even alcohol. 1 or 2 drinks in the evening can increase magnesium excretion through the kidneys while you sleep. You went to bed balanced. You woke up depleted. And the cramp was waiting. So here's where we bring this home. Because knowing the problem means nothing if you don't know what to do with it. I'm going to walk you through 4 things, not pills, not products. 4 ways of thinking about this differently. Starting tonight. The first one is this. Look for the pattern. I mean actually track it. When does the cramp hit? Which leg? What did you eat that evening or not eat? What medications did you take that day? Did you sweat more than usual? Were you on a laxative? Did you skip a meal? The cramp is not random. It's a signal, and the pattern will tell you which part of the balance is off if you pay attention to it. The second, and this is the one I want you to take seriously, think food first before pill first. The NIH Office of Dietary Supplements and the USDA both confirmed that magnesium and potassium from whole foods are absorbed more effectively and more safely than from most supplement forms. A baked potato with the skin on gives you over 900 milligrams of potassium in a single serving, according to USDA Food Data Central. 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds delivers 156 milligrams of magnesium. That's 37% of the daily value. A cup of plain low-fat yogurt gives you both magnesium and potassium together. Leafy greens like spinach, half a cup cooked, provide 78 milligrams of magnesium. These aren't exotic foods. These are things you can eat at dinner tonight. And when you eat them in the evening, before bed, you're giving your body the raw materials it needs to keep that muscle relaxed through the night. Not one mineral, the full team. So to be clear, food first. Minerals from real evening meals. That's the foundation. The third step, stop assuming every electrolyte drink is built for your problem. Read the label. If it's loaded with sodium and sugar and has little or no magnesium, it's an athlete recovery drink. It is not a nighttime cramp solution for a 68-year-old on blood pressure medication. The marketing doesn't know your body. Your body knows your body. And the fourth, and I want you to hear this one slowly, if your cramps keep repeating, bring your doctor or pharmacist a real list. Not a vague description. A list. Every medication, every supplement, every electrolyte product you're using. Because the interaction between those things is where the balance breaks down in most seniors. And guessing in the dark, adding one more pill, one more powder, one more drink without knowing how it fits, that's not a solution. That's a risk. Especially if your kidney function has changed. Especially if you're on an ACE inhibitor or an ARB. Especially if you're taking a diuretic. These medications change how your body handles potassium and magnesium. And a supplement that's fine for someone else can be genuinely unsafe for you. This is for educational purposes only. Always discuss changes with your own doctor. I say it twice because this is the part where it matters most. Most seniors never connect this to that. Today you did. You now know it's not about water. It's not about one mineral. It's about the balance between 4 minerals, magnesium, potassium, sodium, and calcium. And the medications, the kidney changes, and the products that quietly tilt that balance after 60. You know that your blood test might look normal while your muscles are telling a completely different story. And you know that food-first evening choices can do more than any blind supplement guess. This is not age. This is something your body is doing, and we can fix it, one step at a time, starting with what you eat tonight. And before I move on, I need you to hear this. If your cramps are new, much worse than they used to be, clearly one-sided, or if they come with swelling, weakness, numbness, or changes in your heartbeat, do not try to solve that with a supplement. That needs prompt medical review. Not tomorrow, not next week, soon, now. The goal after 60 isn't blindly adding more electrolytes. It's restoring the right balance, safely, in a body that's changed. But now that you understand electrolyte balance, there's something else happening in your body after 60 that can make even the right minerals far less effective at night. And most seniors never realize it starts before bed, not during the cramp. I cover exactly that in the next video. Watch it now.